Departure time, 11 o'clock. Monday, I think it's Monday morning. Tuesday morning, 23rd. This is the harbor's entrance right up here. That night when the Santa Anas chased me in here, I heard some faint cries of help and I saw a flashlight lighting on me. It was a family of boaters. Their boat was being washed up against those rocks. Now, I was just a mistake away from disaster myself, so I yelled out to them that I'd call for help. No one answered on the radio, so I called 911. And later that night, while at my dock, I saw the lifeguard rescue boat towing men, women, and children to safety down the harbor. I can't recall a time when I was happier to see the American flag blowing in the wind as I was that night, all spotlighted up like a proud beacon of safety. That's totally what it stood for to me at that moment of time. There's a stench in the air and crap floating all over. Probably brought here by the Santa Anas. This is a Santa Monica Bay. You got Malibu way up there, then it swings around all the way around to Palos Verdes and Point Vicente. Point Vicente to Point Doom. I can just begin to see the wind sparkling the sea out there by Point Vicente. Chi-Chi has to come for a look. Everything okay, Chi-Chi? Hey, meow meow. Happy girl. Chi-Chi girl. Hey, boo boo. Hi. Hi. Hi, baby. That's you. These are the oil refineries of El Segundo. As well as we're on the LAX flight path, in case you haven't noticed. Just up ahead is Manhattan Beach Pier and Hermosa Beach Pier. There's a gossamer blanket of brown haze laying real low over the water. Probably residue, well, obviously residue of the fire in the Santa Anas. My gosh, just around the corner is San Pedro. So close, yet it was so far that night. You know, just a couple of miles. Miles can be really long. I mean, you know, I'd like to be 1 mile away from the nearest great white man-eating shark, but then just inches from something else. It's all relative. I've glimpsed these waters from the land out there for so many decades, so many years. Now I glimpse the land from these waters. How cool is that? Point Vicente's right ahead. It's Portuguese Bend. Palos Verdes. I've been in some of those houses. Some of my stained glass windows are installed there. I've driven those roads. I know where the bumps are. You could say a gaggle of hawks or a gaggle of geese or a flock of pigeons. But for pelicans, a squadron of pelicans. Look at them squad. Here's how fast I'd be going if I turned off my motor and put my sails up. About 100 yards an hour. Been there, done that. Chi-Chi should be up here enjoying all these birds. I called her, but she's down below busy watching Oprah or something. Less than 3 hours out and less than halfway to go, I'm already rounding Point Vicente. Not so much as for safety today, but out of respect, I'll pass outside the marker buoy. Up ahead is Point Firmin. Oh, how long I've yearned to say those words. Up ahead is Point Firmin.
Somewhere beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me, my lover stands on golden sand.
That's the Point Vicente Lighthouse. It blinks twice every 20 seconds. and it moans at you if you get too close to it in the fog. Those are the two radar domes marking San Pedro Hill. And up ahead is Point Fermin. You don't often see large-scale developments along the coastline like this anymore. Although I don't have a zoom, you'll just have to imagine you see it. There's a little steeple, and tucked behind those trees over there is the Wayfarer's Chapel, or we call the Glass Church. It was designed by Frank Lloyd Wright. It's gorgeous. It's redwood and glass, and well, aside from Falling Water, I think this is one of Frank Lloyd Wright's most beautiful creations. The white cliffs of the chalky hills of Palos Verdes. There's a lot of bare military land right down in there. Tons of gun emplacements that they were installed during World War II to protect us from the invading Japanese. Strewn and littered up and down this whole coastline are absolutely no wartime battle artifacts. This is Royal Palms right off my port beam here, just below White's Point. Royal Palms was once the site of a glamorous spa for the rich and famous, but they're all dead now. It's got a nice little A-frame wave that sets up just west of the jetty there. To the right, it's got a short right, just about long enough for a Kamikaze 5 or 10, but it's a left wave that's pretty good. And then just west of that is a place called TC's, which means Tube City. That should speak for itself. Just down the line here is Mossy Rock. It's got a really good long left when it's breaking right off of the point, but you got to watch out for the finger reefs. Sometimes they'll rise up and say, "Hi there," right to your face. And around the corner, around Point Fermin, is Cabrillo Beach, with its point and its beach break. These are the playpens I had as a little boy learning how to surf. Right there in those trees, that's the pagoda where Margie and I, my first wife, had our wedding reception. Members of the band Ambrosia played there. Oh, what a time it was. It was. Whoopee!
By the sea, to be up in the crow's nest and singing my say and shiver me timbers, I'm a sailing away. The fog's lifting and the sand's shifting and I'm drifting on out. Oh, Captain,
here's what we used to call the Mile Buoy. It sits right off of the Cabrillo Beach Point here and Point Fermin. My brother Mick and I, or sometimes my friend Mike Galvin and I, we'd paddle out here in our canoe with a bag full of frozen peas. We'd use them to catch Catalina blue perch for our dinner. We'd sit out there for hours drinking our wine and eating our bait. See that scar? Big Wednesday, 1967, Cabrillo Beach Point. I didn't make it through the bowl. I got washed over a barnacle-encrusted reef right in front of the Spanish breakwall. See? I got waves I can talk about until I die. There it is, the Angel's Gate Lighthouse, proudly standing its guard at the royal entrance to San Pedro. Here I am arriving in a ratty, beat-up, $3,000, 45-year-old sailboat with a pair of old yellowing, dinged-up surfboards strapped to the bows. I'm arriving in style and class. I feel like a king. I feel like I'm king of the world! I'm pretty freaking happy right now.